What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this week we're talking about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. I got significantly more sleep than the last time I filmed this show. Feeling good. If you're feeling good, hit the like button. If you watch the show regularly, hit the like button. If it's your first time, you can wait till the end. But let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, HPI is releasing a new Venture 18 comp crawler. Almost like we saw this at NERSA. The weird thing with HPI showing everything they're going to release for the next 6 months is that none of this stuff is going to be much of a surprise. But all of the full specs, the official photos and videos and all of those things are now available for the new platform. 18 comp crawler, lots of cool features that go with this. It does come brushless. $289 is the pre-order price on this. Again, it's got the Rover tires on it, some bigger wheels, made for lots of flex. Down low weight is added to the platform. Also, it's got the cab only with the tube bed on the back. It's all hinged. Again, it's just a nice platform overall. If you're into that 18th scale world and you like the performance side of it most specifically, then this one might be worth taking a look. As I mentioned, it is currently on a pre-order. I do not know exactly the date when these are scheduled to ship. I didn't see that in the release notes, but if it's something you'd like to jump in before they actually ship, you'll find links down in the description below where you can get that pre-order accomplished. And next, a save the date for you all. Scale Challenge West 2026. This is going to be happening at Cisco Grove again, and it's going to be happening in July. The dates typically when Axial Fest used to happen, but now it's going to be Scale Challenge West back at Cisco Grove, a multi-day event, July 16th through the 19th, again, at Cisco Grove. If you ever did or ever wanted to do the old school Axial Fest days and you want to return to there, this is going to be the event for you. Should be kind of be the replacement for that here on the West Coast again. So again, mark your calendars down, July 16th through the 19th here in Northern California at the Cisco Grove Campground. It's gonna be a great time. It's a campground, which is great. I'm not exactly sure how the reservations for the camping during that time are going to be handled. We will definitely get that information and give that to you. Usually it's something that's kind of done hand in hand with the event side, so you can't call and reserve them early. But again, once we have all of that information, it's all nailed down, make sure and circle back. Really looking forward to this event. Hopefully it'll fit into a number of your guys' calendars and you can come on out as well. Next, Vanquish released the aluminum version of the F10 straight axle. The F10 straight axles have been out for a long time, but there's never been an aluminum version of the straight version. It's only been the portal option up to this point until now. Those were released last week in both a clear anodized finish and a black anodized finish for both the front and the rear. Those will work on a ton of vehicles that have been released over the years, as up to and including the new mullet for the front straight axle as well. Also, speaking of the mullet and things like that, the Servo on axle mount in aluminum is also available now from Vanquish as well. The VRD platforms like the Carbon, the Builder's Kit, the Mullet, those use a servo on axle mount rather than a chassis mounted servo. And the top of axle version has always only been molded. There's only been an aluminum behind the axle version. But if your build is a forward bias or you just like the stock configuration best, then you can pick up this aluminum version bolted onto either the plastic factory molded axle or the aluminum one that was just released. It's compatible with both versions of that. So if you've got a build that could possibly use that, you can check that out. Those are in stock now on the Vanquish website. An announcement that we don't hear very often, especially these days, but Proline is lowering their prices, and not just as a sale. This is a new lower price announcement that was made, and on the page that they announced this, they have a bunch of the products that are now at this new lower cost. One of them especially exciting for me was the fact that the 1.9, 4.75 inch tall BFG crawlers have now gone from like $43 or $33 down to $25. Initially, there was some concerns that this new lower price was a sale and that meant that those were going to go away, which would have been terrible. But no, this is just a new lower pricing. Again, something we don't see all that often these days. It's marked clearly new, everyday low price. So there you go. Now, it's not just crawlers that have been reduced in price. If you can go through their list and see a ton of the tires that have been reduced, including the 2.2 Baja Pro X's. There's some of like the 1/7 scale NASCAR stuff, the 1/7 scale Toyos, Grom tires here. We've got the 2-stage foams from Proline, trenchers in 2.230s as well as 2.8s, SCX6 wheels, Hyraxes, the belted Mirage trophy truck tires, the Dumont paddle tire. Again, there's a huge list of them. You can go through, there's a link down in the description below. You can go see all of these tires that are now at this new everyday low price. Worth checking out. And you know, I'm happy to see when announcements like that happen, because as we've mentioned, it's not something that's happened very often as of late. So love to see that. Go check out that list in case you're after any Proline tires or more than tires as well. And with that link down in the description below, above that link, just a little ways, you'll find the link for the channel membership. And you can click on that then. Channel membership helps support the channel a little bit extra. You get additional videos from behind the scenes, After News Delight, extension of the show. We kind of go back over some of the interesting stuff, kind of, a little bit more candid. Then you also just get additional members only behind the scenes videos as well as videos early, like the scale news, which you get the night before. Same goes for many of the other videos. But if that interests you, again, link down in the description below. Help support the channel. Thanks to everybody who watches the videos. Thanks to everybody who helps support the channel in general. Speaking of supporting the channel, thank you to Bashmaps for supporting the Scale News update. Bashmaps is a social app that you'll find for both Android and iPhone, and it's a free app with ads, or you can get a paid subscription which will remove ads as well as add some additional features. Now, it's a relatively new app, but it's continued to gain steam. To get the app, you can scan the barcode, or you can go to bashmaps.com, or you can search it on both Android or iPhone app stores. Now, the main purpose of the app is the map, like you'll find in the name. And with the map, you can go find locations to crawl or bash. You can find hobby shops or events all on the map, and it's available worldwide. So if you're traveling somewhere new, or you're new to the hobby in general, and you're just trying to find things or places in your area to run your RC, no matter what it is, a crawler or a basher, a scale trail rig, whatever it may be, there's probably a spot near you that you'll find on Bashmaps. Now, beyond just the map, you'll find a number of other features on the app as well, including a garage where you can either find or upload your own rigs, your custom builds, whatever it may be. You can kind of scroll through just to see what other people have as well. On there, you'll also find an event calendar on the app with a filter, so you can search down and find events within a radius of where you are. So however far you may be willing to travel, you might be able to find something going on that you didn't know about before. And also in the last month, Bashmaps has launched a marketplace, so you can sell RCs directly through the app, or buy RCs, depending on what you're looking to do. I got a chance to meet and talk with the developers a number of times here over the last handful of months. Super passionate about it, continuing to update this app. It looks fantastic. Everything from the 3D mapping, so you can actually see terrain of where you may be going, especially if you're into crawling. You may be able to find a place that you were totally unaware of. Absolutely worth checking out. Go find Bashmaps, whatever app store you prefer to use, or go to their website, bashmaps.com. And thanks to Bashmaps for supporting the Scale News update. And this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, come check out Livestream Takeover. Last week, Matt checked in from a bullet train in Japan. First time either of us have live streamed at 200 miles an hour, I think. Pretty sure at least. I think that's a safe bet. But this week, check back in. Maybe Matt will be somewhere equally weird. I'm not sure yet. But regardless, should be a good time. Come check that out. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every single Wednesday. And if you work for an RC company and like to see any of your products on the Scale News, shoot me an email to news@harleydesigns.com. Include a photo and a description and a link to where it is or where it will be found on your website once it's available. But love to take a look at that, see if we can get it included here in the Scale News. This brand of tools, I believe, called like Dspiae, I don't know. You figure out how you say this weird mix of consonants and vowels. But they were at NERSA, and I was somewhat familiar with them because Matt had got one of these detail sanders from them, and they have a number of tools that are these, small battery operated or sometimes just a simple hand tool, but that are very specifically tailored to like kind of the world that we are as far as like detail modeling and sanding, things along those lines. So it was cool to see that a bunch of this line of tools were recently added to AMain's site. So they brought it specifically the same detail sander that Matt had and seemed to have good luck with. I noticed got populated onto the website. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I went through and found a bunch of other tools that I was completely unaware that they made. So if you're a tool person like I am, worth checking out. There's some cool ones there, some things that I don't have and that I might have to have. This week, JConcepts posted up that they're having a fall or an autumn sale where they've got a ton of items, some that are just heavily discounted. 2.9, which is like the SCX6 style tires and wheels. Those are available, like the pre-mounted ones for like 30 or 40% off on those. There's some tires on there down to like $5. And by no means are they like unusable tires. These are JConcepts landmines that are available for $5. The Bounty Hunters, the smaller, the 3.9 inch 1.9s, those are available for $10. They've got turnbuckles and servo horns, monster truck tires, large scale, small scale, everything's in there. So if you're a big fan of JConcepts stuff, check what's on their fall sale. Probably end up spending more on shipping than the parts, depending on what you're ordering, but definitely worth taking a look. As you all know, I'm a huge drift guy. It's pretty much all I do these days. Not quite. But while I was on social media this week looking, I ran across LS Studio, a company I hadn't really heard of. They've got 10,000 followers, not a huge page by any means. And they had a reel of this tiny little 1/24th scale drift car that's built like a 10th scale drift car, all carbon and aluminum with the high mounted motor, the wild steering, again, all carbon fiber and aluminum. This thing looks pretty amazing. I actually had to go search for it. Couldn't find it on their social media pages or a link or their website or anything. I had to go searching around. And it actually appears that this kit is maybe like 6 or 7 months old, but I couldn't see much of it. I don't see it available in a ton of places. I did find it on a few stores, and I'll put links down below to where I found them at. I don't know the credibility of some of these stores. I did find it on AliExpress, although it's the most expensive there. And I hate to say that that is maybe the reputable one of the places. I don't know. I don't know anything about the other stores, so you may have to do some due diligence on your own. But what I did find is that these little tiny drift cars that are built in this super cool way come as a kit. It says assembly required, which I love that. That's super cool. They are about the same price as a 10th scale drift car though, getting up to that $400+ range for just the kit, no electronics or anything like that, which is high. Is it worth it? I don't know. Is it drivable? Probably not by me, but regardless, I thought it looked super cool, and it's available in a couple of color schemes. One is like the carbon with green that is shown in the video. Then there's also like carbon with orange. Beyond that, it appears that the two versions are the same. But yeah, it's $439 on AliExpress, which says that's 49% off. It says that it should be $861. So you're getting a hell of a deal. Last week, after getting back from Proline by the Fire, Reefs team did another live stream where they talked more about the XP10 vehicle that they've got coming out that is still on pre-order. That pre-order ends this Thursday. That there are still some available of the 250 that they're selling. There's still some available up to this point at least. But if those don't sell out by Thursday, then that availability will go away and it will just be marked as unavailable until they're already here. Up to that point, that's when you're like getting in on the founders like lasering and all of that stuff. So that is going to be that's your cutoff. If you're interested, if that is part of the value for the price that you see, then now is the time to do it before the pre-order ends. So there you go. That information, there's your deadline. Speaking of deadlines, we almost missed the weekly Team Associated RC10 release. This week, we've got the RC10 four-wheel drive team car version. It's four-wheel drive with the belt, and it's the I don't know what makes this different than the other four-wheel drive that they released previous to this, and now you have this one. It's mainly black, it appears. RC10 fans will probably know all of the differences between every single model that they're releasing. But if you can't miss one, you better have a decent bank account because there's been a lot of them. But this one, $459 for the kit. Yep. But if a black RC10 doesn't trip your trigger, then Racer's Edge may have you just taken care of. They're offering RC10 chassis in retro colors: blue, pink, and green. Bright. These say limited numbers. I don't know what that means as far as quantity, things like that. But if you got to have a pink chassis, well, you might just wait a week. Maybe Associated will release one. Or you can just go ahead and pick up the Racer's Edge version. These list for $129 and they're powder coated, not anodized. But that's going to do it for this week's news topics. For this week's question, I'm in one of those times where time has been short and then projects just keep dragging on, and I need that motivation to like get over the hump to move on and like move forward with a project. And that's the toughest thing for me, is just finding that individual piece of motivation to like push me to get past something so then I can make progress. I build a wall up in front of a project, and then I have the hardest time. The longer I wait, the taller that wall gets. And sometimes it's just that like, you have to do it. You have to get started. But that's so difficult to do. So what do you guys do to break through on a project? Is it just the sit and stare? Is it like finally like purchasing something for a project? Does that give you that like little bit of boost you need to dive in to the next steps? What do you do to motivate yourself for your projects? Put it down in the comments below. Always enjoy reading your guys' comments. It's my favorite part of the Scale News Update. And if you don't have anything to add to that, just tell me what your favorite color is. Or your shoe size. Left shoe size specifically. That's going to do it for this week. I appreciate all of you for watching the Scale News Update every single week. With that, hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell if you haven't yet. Channel membership's available. Thanks as always again. We'll see you on the next one.